Good day everybody and welcome back to this channel all about how you can make the most out of Amazon advertising to help your business. And today I thought I would share some final tips with you how you can make this Q4 a huge sales and profit win for your business. Starting off with Amazon Prime Day and then also Cyber Monday and Black Friday. So I'm going to share 5 final actions that you can take for these high traffic days. Number 1, go all in on your high performers with high inventory. So for this, just go to your advertising console or whatever tool you're using. Pretty much all of them will probably allow you to filter your campaigns in some way and quickly identify the campaigns that are really working for you. Typically, I like to, filter by conversion rate, so minimum 5, for example. And then also, of course, check which ones are actually profitable, which ones are still below my target ACOS, right? This is actually a nice KPI within Selix that tells me the monetary value of how far I am above or below the target ACOS. It's actually pretty much my favorite PPC KPI to use. So what I like to do is really filter for those KPIs and then identify those campaigns and then go all in, increase the budgets on those days and really get the most profit possible from those safe campaigns where you know you will get a lot of profitable sales, right? So that's what I do. And what I also want to mention is don't expect a conversion rate boost for your campaigns. If you don't have the data to back you up in that hypothesis, then don't expect any wonders. Just expect a traffic boost. If your product is not converting well, then don't expect that to change on high traffic days. Now, if you're going to focus in on those high performers with high inventory, it of course also means that you should reduce your spend on the low performers and the products with low inventory, right? So same principle, basically you want to filter the other way around and then decrease the budget for those campaigns, right? That's typically what you want to do. And the same with the low inventory products. Don't go after those too much. There's just no reason to use that ad spend on these kind of products that you would be selling anyway going into Q4. You'd rather want to invest that ad spend on products that will really benefit from it. Okay, so that's point number 1. And point number 2 is increase, or in fact remove, your daily budget cap. Now, although I did mention forgetting to set a daily budget cap over all of your campaigns is kind of a big mistake, at least for sellers with a limited budget in this video, it is also a mistake to forget about that daily budget cap simply because a lot of that traffic will not be spread over the month now, but going all into those high traffic days. So ideally you have a bit of a cash flow and marketing budget backup for these kind of high traffic days, because simply you don't want to miss out on all that extra traffic coming on those. So typically, to keep it simple, I just use the campaign level budgets on those days, or you can indeed just drastically increase that by however much your extra cash flow will allow you to use on those days. Alright, and action number 3 you can take is using coupons. Simple matter of the fact is, most sellers will be using them, and you don't want to be the only one that will not have this kind of, where did I see it now? This kind of green badge, giving the customers the impression that they will be getting a bargain of some kind, getting some kind of win, right, on Prime Day. And if you're the only one that doesn't have this green badge, well, it doesn't take an expert to tell you that that doesn't usually help you in your click-through rate or conversion rate. So yeah, again, especially for those high performer products where you want to get all those sales, where you're throwing all that traffic at, set up those coupons in Amazon, right? Simply go to advertising, vouchers / coupons and create a new coupon. And ideally you want to be setting up a single coupon for each product, simply because then you have that budget control over each coupon, in a similar way to how you only have that budget control over advertising campaigns if you split up your targets into campaigns and not just ad groups. I talk about that in this video up here. And using coupons now brings me to point number 4, which is targeting weak, full price, and non-prime products. So you want to go to your Amazon advertising console and create a sponsored product and sponsored display campaign, and then go for manual targeting as well as product targeting. And then you want to go and search for those highly relevant category of yours, obviously the one that your product is in on the one hand, perhaps there's some others that are really fitting. And then you want to go here to refine that target by non-prime eligible, ideally also 4-star reviews if there are enough products in that category still. If not, just also target the 5-star reviews. And then also, of course, they should be in a similar price range as your product. So typically I take more or less €1 less than my own product. And if I can then also have a coupon, it will usually, definitely bring me below that other product in comparison. So that's what you want to be targeting with your category targets. And then also on Prime Day, you want to go to Amazon itself, check your main high traffic keywords and check the products that are actually ranking organically for those. And then again, check which ones are not using coupons, and the ASINs of those products are the ones that you will want to be adding in a separate ad group as individual products, right? So you enter their ASIN here, and you will also be targeting those high traffic ASINs with no coupons. Okay, so that is something you can do on Prime Day, on Black Friday, Cyber Monday itself, right? Nothing that you know just yet who is going to use those coupons. But if you want to be doing something for those high performers that you identified, perhaps it's 10 to 20 products or whatever, right? So create those product targeting campaigns, or if you already have them, add those ASINs to those campaigns, right? Ideally, you already have the campaign going since about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, because then Amazon will trust your campaign already going into Prime Day and give it impressions. Otherwise, if it's a new campaign, I would recommend setting that dynamic bidding to fixed. So you're basically forcing Amazon to trust your bid and not go down as it would in both of these other cases. So that is point number 4, make use of product targeting to show up on the listing pages of these kind of weaker products with no coupon codes ideally, and ideally not using Prime, right? That's where you want to show up. Or this is where you want to show up with sponsored display campaigns as well as sponsored brand campaigns. You can show up with all of them on those listing pages, and so maybe I should have put that as a separate point, basically making use of all ad types to really put your product in front of all those masses that are coming on Prime Day and Co. And just for those of you that don't know where the ASIN is, you can basically take that out of any URL of the product listing page right here. It starts with B07, right? And so you put that into those product targeting campaigns. By the way, also feel free to check out my separate video on product targeting, which is simply a great way to get that traffic. Okay, and now let's have a look at the last point, point number 5, which is using Dayparting. Now, some of you might be familiar with this sheet already from my PPC tool overview from a couple of months ago. And what I would really recommend on these high traffic days is using a tool that allows you to do Dayparting. Simply because there will be so much traffic, meaning there will also be so much more PPC competition on these days, because everybody wants to make use of it. Everybody wants to be part of that traffic. And so if you can make your campaigns be more defensive in the early part of the day, when all of your competitors' ad budgets are still full, still being used, right? And so the CPC and bid levels are still very high, then you want to be stepping back a little bit and let them fight it out with the high bid levels, right? And then going towards the rest of the day, you want to step in, and typically a lot of your competitors will already have fallen out of the race, out of the bid auctions, because they don't have ad budgets left for that day. Maybe they forgot to remove the daily budget cap, or maybe they just didn't increase their campaign budgets, right? So that is why you want to be day parting your campaigns into focusing on those second parts of the day. Ideally, you have a tool that allows you to increase those bids and budgets during those days, right? But also it would be good simply to pause your ad groups in the morning hours and then go full on and make use of your ad spend in a more profitable way against less competitors in the later parts of the day, right? So in terms of this sheet, typically the ones with a super allow you to actually adjust bids and budgets, and the ones with a yes will just allow you to kind of at least pause your ad groups, pause your campaigns in the morning hours, and then turn them on automatically at any time that you choose. You might also want to consider creating separate campaigns on those days for those high performers that will, run in the morning hours with very low bids. You're not really competing yet, but you're still putting yourself out there. And then you have your main campaign going live in the second parts of the day, right? So that's typically how I do it. And that is simply a great way to get even more margins out of your campaigns on those high traffic days. All right, and that's it for this one. I hope you found it useful. If I can just stress one of those points, it would really be to only go after those high performers. Don't expect a conversion rate boost, and really throw your marketing budget at the campaigns that are profitable. And don't let the other campaigns take away ad spend from those high performers. And a final piece of a little mental advice: don't stress yourself too much on those days by looking at the sales numbers every hour or so, simply because also on those high traffic days, the concept of sales attribution will still be very much true, right? It will take Amazon a while to attribute those sales to the clicks, and it's simply a natural thing for customers to click on an ad and not directly buy it, but simply wait an hour or wait until the evening and then they're gonna buy it. And so that's a normal thing. Don't stress about sales not coming in right away. If you're preparing in the right way and you're focusing on those already high performers, you will have a great Prime Day, Black Friday, and Cyber Monday. Okay, and that is really it now. I wish you guys a lot of sales and a lot of profits and a lot of fun on those days. So have a great Q4, and I'll see you around in the next one.